Hello everyone, welcome to Seed Agile Manufacturing Center. I'm Nico, the account manager of Team Fusion. Let me introduce the process of the PCBA making. Hello everyone, welcome to seeedstudio Agile Manufacturing Center. Here we are as the first step of our PCBA manufacturing, the incoming material center. Well, in here we're piling lots of kinds of materials from the resistors, capacitors, ICs, etc. to fulfill like different development of our hardware project. So as you can see, there are tons of boxes here, and meanwhile, there one of our inspectors, they're in yellow jacket, and they will check each kind of items respectively, and to make sure that everything aligns our production request from the exact NPN or type of the material to the exact quantity of them. So this is very important before we move to the next step. As you can see, we have different kinds of label, and which will be divided into 4 types of label. The green one represents Q1, and then from Q1 to Q4, and we stick to the rule of first in, first out. First come in and first consume, to make sure the life cycle of each kind of material can be well consumed and without being aged or lagging, etc. So after this kind of process is over, we will move like the defect to get back to return to the supplier. Okay, let's move on. You can see it here is our kitting service center. Well, after this material is prepared, and we will move to this center before making the PCBA. We'll put these kind of material in one basket for one project, and to make sure that everything is well prepared before the manufacturing. On my left hand, you can see there's some electronic components that often used. For example, the common resistors, capacitors that become easily to fetch and just throw right into the basket, and then to deliver to the next procedure of the manufacturing. The end of this aisle is our packing, and also our DIY components parts, which provided our users and consumers who wants to customize their own project or their own hardware, and we can also support them to put their own components over here. To make sure this material can consume for a longer time, to lock down the life cycle, and to make sure it will have the great performance when it's applied to the exact PCBA. We have this vacuum sealer to vacuum seal this not one-time consumed components, and to make sure it can sustain longer. This is our valued and sensitive component storage center. So the reason we're setting up this room is we have to make sure those demanding materials into storage at the right range of temperature. For example, from 70 to 27 degrees, the humidity level is around 35% to 75% RH. So this is where we store our testing fixture. The usage of our testing fixture is to test individual boards or from one another OEM or ODM project. So the usage of this testing fixture is to, of course, and to fix the boards, and each kind of like the testing fixture is designed for singular individual design to test the electronical performance, the voltage, and etc. And on my right hand, we store the still mesh. So the still mesh can come along with the PCBA order. Well, once you place the order of the still mesh, and you will receive this kind of plate, and it showcases the location or designator of different kinds of components here. And once you got the steel mesh, and it can help you to make the soldering process more effectively. And for example, you can just place to the soldering and pasting machine, and then you can apply the soldering paste evenly on your board. I mean, this is the very lab of the Seed Fusion service that provided fast turnover service for PCB or PCBA. For example, if you order like 5 pieces or 10 pieces, even 50 to 100 pieces, and you would like to do some quick verification, and meanwhile, it's kind of lagging, or we're kind of late, and to move it to the production line, and you would like to get it in real time, get the feedback in real time. So you can order your PCBA, then the request will be sent over to here, and the inspectors in white jacket, and they will use hand soldering and to process your PCBA. Welcome to our SMT production line. On the right hand is the printing machine. As you can see, you can place your steel mesh right into this machine, and the brushes will come over here and brush this soldering paste evenly on the board. And then move to the next phase, to the SMT process. Once the boards with the complete soldering paste and the board will be automatically delivered to the SMT machine. And once you got this all components feeding, and then the robotic arm will swiftly pick those different kinds of resistors, capacitors, and all components together to paste it on the board respectively in a very fast way. And then move to another one. So as you can see, in this feeding area, the components is relatively larger than that one. And so this machine is focused on the pasting, for example, on the mechanical parts, the figure LEDs, switch, etc. And after this SMT process is finished, and we will move it on to the reflow oven. So we've already set the fixed parameters, and to heat the soldering paste from 150 degrees and right to the 110, 230, 45, and then down to 235 degrees. Move over here. Once this process is finished, and we will move to the AOI checking. So hence all the components is fixed on the board. And we'll need to check if there's any running soldering or short circuit, etc., or the wrong placement of different kinds of components. So we'll use this AOI machine and to scan automatically from every angle of the PCB, and to check if all the components is placed in the right position. For those components are not suitable for the SMT, and we have this selective wave soldering machine. For those through-hole components, the long beam one, and we will use this machine to solder individually without affecting the already soldered components. You can see we have a camera can update the whole situation in real-time soldering process here. Those components are temperature sensitive, and we will use manual soldering and to supply those kind of components on the right position. So after this whole process of SMT and series of checking, we'll move to the testing and firmware flashing zone here. This is our testing area. As you can see, the inspector and they're checking, they're testing different kinds of boards to make sure the functionality and stability of each kind of PCBA is feasible for mass production. And meanwhile, Seed offer different kinds of and Seed will design different kinds of the testing program and procedure to make sure that every step of the testing can be run smoothly. So after this whole process, and we will move to the finished PCBA to the checking zone, as well as the assembly center. And we will pack it up, and meanwhile to move it to the bigger box, and then to deliver